Good evening, model railroad fans, and a special welcome to our three railers out there. Just want to go over this other item that I picked up recently at the Great Scale Train Show in Timonium. And actually, I had the person that I got this from bring it up because I knew he had it. And it was in like new condition and probably might have ran only once. So um, I decided to try to get this. Now, let's see what this is exactly. And let me bring that forward to you. And this is the DB VTU 10.5 Senator. Okay, so I've ordered also the extra cars for this as well, so they're on their way. But this was a high-speed train, the Senator Era 3, using unconventional single-axle bogies or trucks, very similar to the Talgo design. Now, a little bit of a history, actually. So this is like a premium service train. Went between, and I don't even remember the city pairs, but it only went between the major cities, obviously. And this was one of the trains that, starting to propel the German Federal Railroads more into the future. There were two types of this type of train. There was one called the Comet, which was the overnight sleeping version, and then there's this one here. So I was waiting for the Comet, but they never produced it, so I kind of missed out on it. But I found out that somebody did have this one up for sale, and I decided to say, okay, how much? And the price was quite reasonable, and I decided to get it from him. Now, this is a 39100 special run. And the only thing I have a little bit of concern about is this here, the soft drive. Okay, so I've known a number of people that have soft drive engines, and actually I do have one. I have a few, not a lot, that are running into problems with them. Now, the two that I only have, about three of them. The two that I have, no problems whatsoever. But it was told to me with these soft drives that you don't want to run them more than a half an hour at a time and let it cool down. So I'm going to try to practice that. But however, I do have a third one that is, once I get it up to a certain speed, it hesitates. So at first I thought it was dirty track, and it did help that a lot. So I'm still trying to find out whether it's that, or because it's very sensitive also to making sure that you have good contact to the rails and to that center rail as well. So, all right, so let's check this out. Okay, of course the box looks very good. I mean, it's like this, just like came out of the factory. So I'm very happy with that. So let's remove this. Okay, the first thing, it says here what to do here. Okay, they even taped it to this part of it. So let's take a look at this. Of course, the obvious thing is never try this on a curve, to hook these cars up, and then give it to them different languages. Actually, it's not good to hook up cars, any type of cars, on a curve, even if it's the the loop couplers or the NMRA knuckle couplers or the claw couplers. It's you just it just doesn't work out too well. It's a lot harder too. So personally, so this one you don't want to even try it. So and they tell you this is what you're looking for, this is what you don't want. So It says here, at least both of the power NUs required for operation. Okay, makes sense. So it looks like we have a motor on both ends, I believe. So let's find that out. Okay, so okay, all right. So see, I'm assuming we got the instructions here somewhere. So I would imagine maybe it's underneath. Let's try to lift this out. This thing's heavy. And okay, it has my warranty card. Okay, so see, so I don't see the instructions. So maybe it's around here underneath one of the units here, maybe. But okay, if not, I'll try to contact Marklin. Maybe I can get it downloaded. All right, so let's start with this power unit here. Okay. Yeah, this thing is all made out of metal. Oh, beautiful engine. Definitely different. Very different. Let's take out the underside of this. I don't think this even really has been on the track. Maybe once, just to see if it ran. So check out this side here. So those are the end unit, the coupling section here. So that's, and I said this once before, and I'm going to say it again. These type of rail cars, they're not really made to be uncoupled and coupled and uncoupled all the time. So because eventually these parts will wear out. Okay, so far no instructions here. Let's start with one of the coaches. Let's try to lift this out. Easy does it. So it's got to make something to stabilize it. Got this. Okay, this looks like one of the dining cars. This is the one end of it, and here's the other end of it. So this is, so you have a male and female end, so you got to make sure we get that right. Beautiful. This thing is made out of cast, so it's a heavy train, and there's the single axle bogie right here. These are rubber, or no, they're plastic. So okay, let's put that down. Okay, let's try to take this other coach out. Well, everything looks pristine on it. I'm not sure which coach this is. So right here they have something that's VT10501, and there's a small letter that looks like a E on it, and this one has a G on it. Okay, so let's put this off to the side. Okay, and let's get the other unit out. And I don't see any instructions here, so hopefully when I put this on, the MFX will pick this up, and we go from there. I want the same thing with this unit. Looks like it has not been run at all. So this is like this says the A unit right here. So it's all lettered underneath here, so to get the order right. Okay, so everything looks perfect. Looks like the couplers are there. Same thing, I looked at that in the other unit. This antenna is there. Definitely different. I mean, I give it that. Okay. So let's move this out away. I'm checking on the box underneath one more time to see if the instructions are. I might have missed it, but there isn't. So it looks like I'm probably going to have to either go on to a forum or maybe just go on to Marklin's website and try to download the instruction manual. So okay, so they want both of these on, obviously, which makes sense. And yes, this one is not powered, so this is like the non-motorized end. So that's what that is. Okay, so this is the only powered one. So let's try to hook these up accordingly. Now, again, I do not have the manual, so I'm just gonna go by instinct here. And it's only 2 cars, so I don't think I can foul that up too badly. So according to instructions, we'll rail this one here, and we'll do one here as far as hooking it up. So they said you want to do this on a straightaway, so you can't get any more straighter than this. And then what I'll do is I'll rail the rest of it on the layout, and then we'll do a test run and see how it goes. So according to the instructions, let's see if we can. Oh, that's easy. Okay, I couldn't have gotten any easier than that. So yep. So we got like I said, I'll rail the rest of the unit on the layout, and then give it a, let's see, hopefully we'll have a heartbeat, and give it a nice test run. And then I'm assuming to uncouple it, all I got to do is just pull it apart. So, okay, so let's go ahead to the layout, and let's rail this up and see how this all works out. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so we have the train railed. Let's go ahead and put the power on. Let's see if it recognizes it. This is the moment of truth. Sometimes I get a little nervous here, see if hopefully it picks up within reason. Okay, that's a good sign right there. I've had some issues where, luckily, I have more fingers on my one hand than issues of putting on a new loc, and it didn't get any registration, and there were some times where I had to double check the instructions and do things differently. I think I only had one engine that did not respond, period, no matter what I did. Okay, so there's the MFX. That's a good sign. Let's go ahead and do that. So basic functions. Looks like we got headlight, table light, sound, horn, slow speed, there's a compressor, station announcements, whistle, departure whistle. So let's get on here and see what we got. So here's the all right, so let's see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on the light. Okay, we got headlights, And we got interior lights. Okay, let's see about the table lights. Yes, we got table lights. All right, let's turn on the sound. Okay, let's give it the horn, the blast of the horn. Typical. That's your station announcement. Looks like it sounds like a little bit more modern than this train is, but that's all good. It's a sound of some sort. So we got the compressor, and it's for the departure whistle. Okay, so alright, so we got the departure whistle. Let's blow the horn to get it moving. Okay, we are now gonna increase the power. Alright, so far so good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this in for about a half an hour, no more. Total running time on one direction, and then I'll break it in a half an hour going the other way, and then I'm gonna park it and then wait for me to. I'm gonna go ahead and put the extra cars on, and we'll do a final video on that. So until then, so far it's pretty good from what I've seen, and very happy with it so far. But I'll be more at ease once I do the break-in period. So we'll continue the video once I put on the supplemental or the extra cars that go with it. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, good evening, model railroad fans, and here's part 2 of the VT 10.5 Senator. I have the extra car set that came with it. I have it now, and that's Marklin number 41100. So we're gonna have the train completed today. Have the first unit. The break-in period is done and is successful. I'm very happy with it. And now we're going to go ahead and put on the extra cars. So let's go ahead and take this off. Let's see what we got. Now, right off the jump, I see we have the instruction manual. So remember when I got the powered unit, this part here, in the first set, I was a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed, but surprised I didn't see it, but it's here. So, they give you a little information of the prototype, which is nice. And here's the Senator by day, Comet by night. The Senator had the single axle running gear, while the Comet had 2. And actually, that's the one I was waiting for. Now, do not get that technology confused with the Talgo technology. This train had a axle where Talgo does not. They have independent wheels. So this also goes back all the way to the rail Zeppelin as far as the history and the technology being applied. So I believe this did become, if I'm not mistaken, a TEE. I know the Comet, and I've seen it, became a TEN, but not with the VT. It was by the Comet was a VT 10551, but the Comet I saw used regular TEN coaches. Okay, so this is the instruction set right here. And actually, luckily, I followed these by instinct. Again, not using curves at all to hook up. So, just like anything else, I always like to read the instructions before I do anything. And here's the control. The address is set to 10. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, this is all in all different types of languages as expected. Let's see. Setting the locomotive, tells you right here. And this is the part that's important. Now they use the 6021 to change your parameters, which of course the central stations was not around yet. Looks like it's an easy train to get into. 2 screws will lift the bodies up. You need 2 types of lubrication, the grease, Trix grease, or there's actually better out there. And of course, oiling the axles. One set of bogies are powered. The other unit is a dummy unit, so that's what you have. And of course, here's the blown up diagram of the coaches itself. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we got. The box looks like it's in perfect condition, like it came out of the factory. There's also a senator that's, I think that's mostly red, if I'm not mistaken, but let's go ahead and get these out and see what we have. Actually, before we do that, let's see if there's anything underneath. I don't think there is, but we'll double check. There isn't. So let's get this out. And what I'll do is I'll rail it on the layout. I'll tell you, these are heavy. It looks good. It has the word Senator here. Judging by the wheel set, this probably might not even had an hour of running time on it. That's your coupling right there. That's the female end, and here's the male end. Now, according to the instructions, there's no real particular way to do it. However, there is a number. There is a number of VT100501, and this is C. So I would imagine that alphabetical order is the way to go. So I'm gonna just put this down here for now. Let's get the other. Let's take this coach out. They did a pretty good job making sure that this is stable. This is a table car, so I have a table car there, so I'll put these two together, this one and the other one. Let's get this one out. Okay. Actually, I think they're all like this. This is another table car. Yeah, I think they're all like this. I don't think they had the type of like airline seats. So all these little compartments have tables in them. So that I can tell. I have to double check the other part of the set, but all these, I think there's one coach that has regular seating in it, but these all have tables on them, every one of them. So, okay. Well, let's go ahead. Now, while I was reading up on this train and, trying to figure it out and learn about it, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I was always saying I've seen this type of train before. I've seen it before, not just as a senator, but another concept. And it finally hit me yesterday. And where I've seen this at, and let's go ahead and put this away right now. And this all kind of reminds me of the here in the States, the Train X. Okay, so I looked at this, and it really, really is like there's a lot of similarities here with Train X. The New York Central Explorer and the New Haven's Daniel Webster. So I managed just to highlight some of these. Here's the Train X, the Explorer, right here. If you can see that, that's the Explorer. A lot of similarities here in a sense, and of course you can see the Train Explorer right here. And these trains were about the same time in the mid 50s. Okay, the engine itself, when we look at the Explorer, let me see if I can. The Explorer itself, we'll find it here. Here's another picture of Train X. The thing about it, we go into the center of gravity and everything like that. And you can see here, this is not the Talgo technology. It has an axle. Talgo does not have this. But it's very, very similar. Now, Train X, okay, here you go. There's the prime mover. The Train X almost worked the same way as the VT-10. However, this one here, this train here, was powered by a Maybach V12. Okay, where the VT 10.5 was powered by a MAN, M-A-N, power plant. Okay, but look at this wheelbase of this front truck. It's long, and it is a diesel hydraulic engine. See if I have anything else that's not just the New York Central tried to experiment with this, but also here's another. There's the and of course down there is the Aero train. I think I showed you that before. Now you can see the coach design here. The coaches were done by Pullman Standard. And Train X did not have a powered unit of both ends. Explorer only had one. Here's the Daniel Webster. That's the New Haven version of this train. The New Haven version also had electric motors, I think, on the rear truck to power, to take third rail pickup for service into the New York area. I think, and I know for sure it went to Grand Central. I don't know if it went into Penn Station, but it also had a small pantograph here for the third rail gaps. So I'm assuming, I don't think this went into Penn Station, but I definitely know it went into Grand Central for sure. So this train was tried in New York Central and New Haven, and it has a lot of similarities. Now, if we take a look at this next picture here, this looks like very similar to the DBVT 10.5 right here. Even if you see the powered front trucks and a single the single bogie on the end, very similar to the VT 10.5. So I just had to point this out that it was I believe it was very similar. The two trains are very similar to each other. Both of them were made in Germany. And the thing is the Train X or Train Explorer was not successful. Neither did the Daniel Webster. Why? Well, according to the book here, to the history books, of course, railroading across a pond is different than here in the United States. But the big thing is that the maintenance wasn't carried out as well as it should. And a good bit of this was like, when I quote from the book, that when you maintain a steam engine here in the States, or let's just say a F7 or an E8, you can use a hammer and a crowbar to fix a lot of things. But these trains required not a crowbar and a hammer, but you needed a caliper, you need a jeweler's tool, and precision and very delicate procedures, and the train will run accordingly. And that's something that the companies couldn't quite get that down right, not to mention the hydraulic transmission, which they weren't very familiar with. So unfortunately, it was not a good success, and the nickname for the New York Central Explorer was called the Exploder, because it kept on breaking down, or even en route, it had to be towed in. So the running a railroad is not universal around the world. So it's many times when the U.S. brings trains over from overseas and try to apply the same type of technology, it's an issue, and also going the other way too in some cases. So it's not easy. It's very difficult. So I just wanted to share that with you, because this, like I said, it's like I've seen this concept before here in the States, but I couldn't quite think about it. And then I remember the book. And by the way, if you're interested in the book, it's called Trains of the Future, New York Central Trains of the Future by Jeffrey Doughty. And it goes into everything from the Talgo, Train X, even actually the prototype was done by C&O. And you can see the C&O unit right here, the prototype right here. You can see it right there, where they were trying to experiment with this. So, by Pullman. So they got all sorts of other types of trains in here. The Talgo train, the Aero train, and what else we got here? We saw that. The Black Beetle, the Jet Power M497 high-speed rail car. What else we got? The Turbo train. And, the Keystone, the tubular train, and we have the this one here, the train of the Roger Williams. So there's the Comet also, and there's a lot of really nice stuff in this book. So, but that's what the VT 10.5 reminded me of, was the Train X. And so I guess in Europe they had a lot more better success with it, because they also had the Comet, which is the sleeper version of that. In any case, let's go ahead and put this train together, and let's rail it and see if we get the whole train to run. So, okay, I'll be coming back to you here very shortly. Let's go to the layout. Okay, so we have the whole train railed. Already ran into a problem where I was coupling up the one car. Looks like the other end wasn't quite center, and I bent like 3 of the pins on it. So so I took it to the bench, and I managed to straighten the pins out. So we'll find out if everything worked out right. I think so, because it clicked in perfectly. So let's go ahead and try this, and let's go ahead and let's turn on the lights. We got interior lights for the whole train. Very good. We got, let's see, we get the table lights. Okay, we got table lights. And it looks like the only car that doesn't have any tables is this car right here. So we got tables. That's all good sign. Let's get some sound on it. Okay, we got sound. Let's give it the departure whistle, and let's give it a blast with the horn, letting you know we're leaving. Going in the right direction. And we'll run it around the track a little bit. Okay, so it looks like we're doing quite well. It's staying on the track. I'm going to go by a high-speed pass here and blow the horn on the way past the camera here. And all in all, I'm very happy with it. Definitely a unique train. I'm happy with it. Looks like the soft drive is running accordingly. And we'll have this running on the club layout. Once I do, I'll take a nice video in action for you. And here it comes around the layout again. So, okay, so when I get to the club layout, I will try to take this and give you a nice action shot of it getting around. So I'm very happy with it. I'm glad I was able to fix the pins on it, and we'll go ahead and actually let me dim the lights a little bit here, so you can see it better here. As far as you can see the interior lighting. And there it goes again right here. Should be passing by you right now. So all in all, I'm very happy with it. So okay, the next time I go to the club, I'll try to take this unit there and give you a nice, film on its operation. Alrighty then, very good. Okay, so I will come back to you another time. Until then, have a good day and enjoyable hours with your hobby. All right, bye for now.